Hey, how's it going, guys? Claudia here. Um, Chat's always real funky when you first start this up, so I think popping it out might work. I'm just gonna type that we're live here. Hey, okay, there we go. How's everyone doing? Let me just check and make sure that our fucking auto tweet went up. Yep, it went up. Yeah, it's Claudia 10. Oh, it's L. Hey, how's it going, L? Let's see, we got Jen, we got Valerie, we got L as I said, Ring System, Mass Panda, Ashley, Binary Snow, Sierra, Legible Potato. Yeah, it sure is going, huh? Gonna do your makeup while watching. Yeah, something to do. The Endera? Ampersandera system? How do you pronounce that? Been looking forward to this all day, so today's been a good day. Oh, good. Good. How was Camilla? Saw her last video. Trying to remember what Camilla's last video was. Was that the update? She's she's doing okay. Playing Animal Crossing or whatever. She's been spending a lot of time out. Orchid system, Boots system. Hey, Bug's here. Hey, Bug. How's it going, boy? Yeah, her. I mean, I guess it's like lack of a role. Is it you that we spoke to earlier? No. Sandra went to the meeting, I believe. I just, I wanted to do this. Damn, that fear count keeps going up, huh? So yeah, I guess I should open with something here. What's our cold open gonna be? So happy to have a live chat today. Yeah, I'm glad. We are too. We've been playing a lot of Celeste, mostly Sandra. For those who don't know, Celeste is a like super hard platformer. It's about a girl who climbs a mountain, Mount Celeste, in I want to say it's in British Columbia. It's in Canada. And on the way up, she meets another part of herself, and that part of herself tries to stop her from climbing the mountain. And like it's supposed to be like a metaphor for depression or anxiety or whatever, but like it's plural. That's what it is. Did she get all the berries? She got all the berries for the first 4 levels. She's trying to beat the B side for level 4 right now. I think she's only like a half dozen screens away from beating it. She's been doing good. Stained Glass System. Hello, Stained Glass System. Love the Celeste soundtrack. Yeah, Celeste soundtrack slaps. Made by a trans woman. I think her name is Lena? Something like that. I don't know her last name. First name starts with an L. Hey, Aiden of the Patchwork System. How's it going, man? Haven't decided how to pronounce it yet, either Sarah or etc. Ah, that's cute. I think I remember when she was telling me about how much more difficult the B-side is. Yeah, the B-side is like a big step up in difficulty. Like the fuck. The A side is like hard, and you have to like go out of your way to find a lot of the B sides because you have to like you have to find the tape in the level. It's usually hidden somewhere, and the thing with the B side is like you basically don't get to touch the ground ever. Um, it's hard. And then there's apparently the C side, which is even harder than that, but apparently way shorter. So like, there's a. It's never something that we're gonna like 114%, but maybe we'll 100% it. Sounds interesting. Hey, hypergalactic system. Lean, Kieran. Oh, Lena Rain. Yeah, that's the composer. Yeah, Seaside. Yeah. Hello, Claudia. Claudio here. Hey. Nice to meet you, Claudio. I don't think we've ever met a Claudia before. How am I today? I'm doing okay. Uh, haven't been out a lot lately. Um, I've like kind of blended in here and there, but I haven't had like my own time out a lot. That's that's basically it. I know I've been fine. Um, yeah, 100% of games is hard. I think the only game that we came close to 100%ing was Super Scribble Knots, and we got like 99% on that. I think there was like one like there were levels that were like puzzle levels, and then ones that were like action levels, and the action levels always fucking sucked because um, Maxwell barely controls. So I think there was one that we just like fucking gave up on. Um, cool T-shirt, love that game. Yeah, Night in the Woods, man. Hell yeah. Do you ever cook things? How does that go? Sometimes. I'm not like. I mean, I'm fine about it. Um, it's not something I like to do really. Um, TBH, I don't really like food. It's a sensory thing. Um, you know that clip from Portlandia where it's like let her speak. I do know that. Super Scribblenauts slaps, yeah. Only games I've ever 100%ed is Refunked. That's because it's a short game. I don't know that. I don't know that game, but hell yeah. Have you gotten any more sleep? We got like 3 or 4 hours last night. Um, don't be like us, kids. Because like Sandra went to bed at like 3, maybe 4, and then just didn't sleep until like 7. Um, We're working on it. It's a whole thing. It helps that Animal Crossing has been giving us a reason to like get up before noon. And today we had a meeting, so we got up at like 10 or whatever, 10:30. Damn, you completed Final Fantasy 15. That's hard. Do you mean like finished or completed? Because if completed, like hell yeah. That's me at the rest of the system. Yeah, let her speak. Do y'all play Animal Crossing? We do play Animal Crossing. We've tweeted about it a little bit. I made a. I was playing it myself a little bit. Shit, dude. Sometimes after the people in the system who like artificially raise their voice a little bit, after they front, it takes a little bit to like pop my voice back into place. Goes the opposite way too. Yeah, but Animal Crossing, I actually went and I made like an eyebrow piercing for myself. I added eyebrows too, but I don't know, it looked weird with eyebrows for some reason. It looks weird without eyebrows, but like me being the only one to have eyebrows in our like custom characters is, I don't know, it's weird. Closest ones are either Persona 5 or Disgaea 5 Alliance of Vengeance. Man, all y'all out here with completing RPGs. No sleep isn't good, yeah. Been having a rough time lately, so being able to go back to games we loved years ago is nice. Yeah, it's a comfort thing, you know? It's kind of like the routine thing. Morning Scribblers, how you doing? We're on our 1-to-1 schedule, 1 p.m. to 1 a.m. Yeah. Managed to ruin 2,000 turnips today by accidentally time traveling. That fucking sucks. I'm sorry. Yeah, we bought like 1,600 today. Our price was like 105, which like we don't we tend not to go and buy from other people's islands, but we'll sometimes sell from other people's islands. We managed to flip last week's profit for like 1 million bells, I think. Like 900,000. Which like paid for 2 house upgrades, I think. I feel like if I played the new Animal Crossing, I'd be lost here forever. Yeah. It'd be like that. But I think the thing about Animal Crossing that's nice is like you have a set number of things you can really do per day. And it's like after that, I mean, you can like you can go fishing or whatever and indefinitely talk to your neighbors over and over again, but like not really gonna do that. That's fun for like what, an hour maybe after you finish all the chores. Complete and everything in Final Fantasy 15 except for the harder dungeons and that freaking giant turtle boss. I haven't played 15, so I don't know that. All I know is like the like twinks driving around in the car. Maybe I shouldn't have said twinks, but whatever. Twinks. That sounds hard. Finish the main story and majority of the side missions. Can places be altars? Like a building be a non-human altar? Yeah, I mean there's like I know there's a thing of like object altars. I guess like theoretically. I can't say I'm familiar with anyone who like has had that, but it sounds like a thing that can happen. Animal Crossing gets us out of the bed in the morning now. We gotta exchange friend codes, man. Message us on Discord. Gotta go get some work done. Catch you later, Bug. I'll tell everyone you said hi. Tomorrow my shop's upgrading, but it means I won't be able to sell weed zone 420. Oh, nice. I hate so much they're ringing all the church bells in the area every evening to let people feel comforted and not alone or some shit, but it's so overwhelming I can't think. Yeah, fuck that, man. Yeah, they're doing that at like 8 p.m. around here. It sucks. I mean, like, I'll be honest, we barely even notice it. But, like, I don't know. It seems like such a superficial thing. Then again, I think it's Emmengard who's tweeting about, like, how their city or neighborhood is, like, doing some sort of thing where they're all, like, howl. It's like, that kind of slaps. Why do they think they can just impose this on everyone? Yeah. My dad found a giant bell somewhere and uses that for the clap for the NHS thing, and it's the worst sound. Yeah, I can fucking imagine. Like, clap for the NHS is such, like... Listen, I'm not from the UK. I don't fully know the situation, but I know that, like, y'all being the majority who voted to fucking basically cut funds to the NHS, and it's like, oh, clap for them. They're putting their lives on the line. It's like, they wouldn't be doing so bad if you didn't fuck them over months ago. It's like, you want to clap for the NHS, or do you want to actually, like, pay them a decent wage and give them actual supplies? I must be the only trans girl not playing Animal Crossing. It would be like that. Honestly, not sure what clapping for the health workers will do. I see it being nice for one time, but not every week. Yeah, like I said. Group dynamic can be scary, even though I prefer people would howl. Yeah, I can see the group dynamic being kind of unsettling. That's exactly what's happening, yeah. Ring the bells at 9 p.m. here, clap for people working in the public health system. Saw this thing on Twitter where one of the villagers say that they were roommates with someone else, and a bunch of LGBT people were like, roommates. And this story in the I'm gonna say in the historical, they are just roommates kind of way. Something like that. I know that a lot of people say that the fishing tourney guy and the bug tourney guy are like dating because they refer to each other as partners. And it's like, that could be business partners, but also, my god, these bitches gay. Good for them. Good for them. How do you think COVID is going to change the world after all this is over? I think it's going to increase the poverty line. Like, more people are going to be in poverty, and I think that nothing fundamentally is going to change in America, but it may change elsewhere. I'm uncertain of how things are going elsewhere, but, you know, we have a history of not changing shit after horrible shit happens. As someone who, you know, lives in Connecticut, gun control shit, you know. Some gun control shit changed in Connecticut after 2013 or whatever, but, you know, not enough. Lots more people having trauma symptoms and going into denial about it. Yeah. Chris's tweet about that, I think, where they're like, a bunch more people are going to be in the trauma scene, and it's our job as, elders in the community to help them out. And yeah, like 100%. Chris are smart people. It's the dragon that does art that's roommates, right? I'm guessing lizard, yeah. Alright, go for now. Might drop in later. Have a good day, y'all. See you later. Good lucks. We're gonna send out your cards sometime soon as we get the international stamps. Here's r/Sappho and her friend. Yeah, that old painting of just gals being pals. See you later, orchids. Something about projected 30% unemployment here, yeah. I know what country you're in, but yeah. Our friend from Australia sent us an article saying that in America, we have as many unemployed people as there are people in Australia. It's fucking crazy. I'm sorry for laughing, Ashley, but it is. I beat the rush by already becoming homeless in February. I'm so fucking sorry, man. That fucking sucks. Being poor is genuinely traumatizing. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like the best way to support health workers, or any essential workers for that matter, is to be super polite and respectful for them. I know, a shocking concept, yeah. Like, y'all are essential workers, right? Like, thank you for being out there, but also I'm sorry that you gotta be out there, that you're being, like, fucking exploited. Hope you're safe. Yeah, we are safe. We're in a very fortunate situation. Where, like, losing our job isn't the end of the world for us. We're very lucky. Yeah. So someone asked Ring System, wish you'd do a live too, if not on your own, perhaps a duplex with the Alexandrites. We're actually planning on that, as Ring System says in the chat. For their 5K, we're gonna do like a joint stream and help them out with that. Be there for support, We work in e-commerce business, so thankfully no customer interaction for us. Oh, okay. Our factory is benign, super safe and careful with social distancing. Good. That is super fortunate. Oh, hope everyone is safe in particular, but hope everyone is safe, but Ashley in particular, yeah. Yeah, I hope you get back on your feet soon. Yeah, unfortunately it's a common experience for mentally ill people and trans people and queer people in general. I forget what the number is. I think it's like 1/4 of homeless people are like queer. Something like that. I know that a large percentage of us are and by us I mean mentally ill people are homeless. And vice versa, live homeless people are mentally ill. Do you plan on participating in Multiplicity May? It's a challenge/idea thing where each day you talk about a different part of being multiple. We're doing it to finally start up our channel. Maybe. I don't know if we'll do that in video form. Would you mind tweeting that at us? We haven't seen it. But yeah, we would probably do that in, I don't know, maybe a series of Twitter threads, something. Yeah, we have live German viewers for some reason. So, hello? And danke for watching. If I knew how to say watching in German, I would say that. But I don't. We took German in high school and, like, sort of in college for, like, a semester, but also that was a year where we weren't going to classes. Yeah, we had a bad time last couple of years in college. Just tweeted at you. Thanks. Appreciate that. Cool. Yeah, it's kind of weird to us how there are, like, people in other countries who watch us, and, like, non-native English-speaking countries, I guess, or countries where, like, the majority population isn't, or majority language isn't English. Yeah. Yes, I noticed that too recently. I even discovered some more German DID channels today. Huh. Stream is at a convenient time for us to watch. 7 o'clock. Yeah, that's a good time. We gotta do this at one more often. Hello to Ring System Partner. Hello, Evan. Yeah, I don't know. Did this just start? Yeah, it started like half an hour ago. We're only a little bit in. Why there are a fair amount of German viewers other than the usual big country with a lot of people speaking English as a second language? Yeah, makes sense. English is a Germanic language after all. Makes sense that there are a lot of people there that speak English. Also, it's kind of become the language of business, yeah? Because of, America being, unfortunately, global superpower. Also, your channel is worth watching. I'm happy to be able to understand English. Thank you. Appreciate that, man. Can you talk about how often people learn about their DID OSTD later in life? We started to feel safe last year, and that's when we first realized what had been happening. Yeah, that's a thing. That's actually a thing in the DSM. We have that saved on our phone. I think I know the exact day. We have it in our Google Photos here. I don't know why the old bar isn't coming up. Hey, there we go. But yeah, it's a thing where, like, once you're safe, the system is, like, more able to reveal itself to you, if that makes sense. This continues. Where is it? Where do you have personal life? Anyway, while I'm looking for it, I'll talk about it. Where like, yeah, once you feel slightly more safe, your brain doesn't need to like hide shit from you as much, I guess. Um, okay, here. Um, I'll just read this whole little paragraph here. We'll catch up with the chat after. Um, Dissociative identity disorder is associated with overwhelming experiences, traumatic events, and/or abuse occurring in childhood. The full disorder may first manifest at almost any age from earliest childhood to late life. Dissociation in children may generate problems with memory, concentration, attachment, and traumatic play. Nevertheless, children usually do not present with identity changes. Instead, they present primarily with overlap and interference among mental states, criteria A phenomena, with symptoms related to discontinuities of experience. Sudden changes in identity during adolescence may appear to just be adolescent turmoil or the early stages of another mental disorder, mood. Older individuals may present to treatment with what appear to be late-life mood disorders, obsessive-compulsive disorder, paranoia, psychotic mood disorders, or even cognitive disorders due to dissociative amnesia. In some cases, disruptive effects and memories may increasingly intrude into awareness with advancing age. Psychological decompensation and overt changes in identity may be triggered by 1. Removal from the traumatizing situation, for example, through leaving home. 2. The individual's children reaching the same age at which the individual was originally abused or traumatized. 3. Later traumatic experiences, even seemingly inconsequential ones like a minor motor vehicle accident. Or 4. The death of or onset of fatal illness of their abusers. So basically, if your brain either thinks that you're safe now or is basically traumatized again or is reminded of the trauma, it can like start up again, or it can like start up in full, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna catch up with the chat here. True privilege to be able to understand, to use another language as a tool to communicate and learn. Yeah. What's something new and interesting you learned about DID recently to share? I'm sure there's something. But it's that thing where it's like, I don't know if you all have seen that segment from Billy on the Street with Billy Eichner, I think his name is, where he runs up to that woman and he's like, for $1, name a woman. And this girl can suddenly not think of a woman. It's like, that's how I am right now. It's like, tell me a fact about DID. When I think of one, I'll get in there. Diagnosis here at age 51. Yeah. One of us just super blatantly switched during a panic attack, which stopped the panic attack. Yeah, that's definitely a thing. Safer everyone feels, the more likely they are to talk. Yeah. Realized we were a system at 33. Then our host talked to other plural people she knew in real life, and that happened at 32. Petrook system learned about it at 33. One of our protectors was trying to stop a new split and jumped in on me the host shocking the crap out of me. I had no idea. Yeah. If you've seen our like how I found out I had DID video, that's we definitely empathize with that. Where Sonder just managed to get into the inner world and shake the crap out of me. Can you tweet that link later so I can show my therapist tomorrow? Yeah, I can like upload that to Twitter. It's literally just a screenshot from the DSM-5. But yeah, I can like crop it or highlight it or something. Just tweet at us now asking for that because we're gonna forget. First signs for us was when one of our caretakers co-fronted and comforted our host by talking to them out loud. That's very sweet. Stop calling me out, Sandra, damn. How's it going, Sequoia? It's Claudia, by the way. Or Claudia, not sure who's up. Yeah, it's Claudia. Yeah. It's almost like the brain reopens a file that was put in sleep mode. Yeah. It's kind of like a time capsule in a way. So basically, headmates keep hiding until something about the situation changes a lot, for worse or for better. Kind of, yeah. That seems like what does it. I think that like either becoming safe or re-traumatizing in a way, like just kind of sets off a domino effect. I'm not a research psych person, but yeah, that's what it seems like from the research that we have done. Yeah. Though I will also say that not a lot of the YouTube DID scene has exactly cited their sources either. But that's a question for another day. It's how we found out we were a system. Traumatizing event started to break down the barriers. It took years to fully realize, but we eventually couldn't ignore it. Weirdly, we have memories of knowing before. Yeah, I think that's I'm not gonna say it's a common thing, but it's something I've heard where like people will suddenly uncover a memory of like either being told or like finding out that they had DID, and then it gets buried because you can't know that. It's it does the Men in Black thing. Anyone else here really shook when speaking or seeing another system live? We watched a system YouTubers a lot, but talking to another system or seeing someone talk is different. This is wild. Yeah, I can see that. It's like it's a different experience to see someone stream and like interact with the chat or whatever. Body was 44 when we learned, yeah. The more I hear from other systems, the more I realize how fortunate we are that we figured out at like 26 or whatever. 25? 25. I don't know how fucking old we are. I hadn't realized I had DID back at the time, but the first definite sign I remember is... Oh, sorry, my fucking neck. I'm gonna bring this closer, because like... Oh, sorry, cat. Scare the crap out of him. Hadn't realized I had DID back at the time, but the first definite sign I remember is because the protector came forward while I was mega dissociate on the bathroom floor, and he ended up talking in a chat we were in. And we were originally tested for it at 15 or 16, but they didn't tell us what DID was until 18 because it wasn't causing any issues at the time. We knew about 5 of us since childhood, though. That's interesting. I could see why they might. I can kind of see why they might keep that from you, especially if they were like using the mid, which is more of like a guide than a strict diagnosis thing. Um, Sorry, the the love of my life texted me. What was I saying? Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. Got diagnosed as a late teen, but it was during a traumatic time, so hosts forgot until we were in our mid-20s, like I was just saying. Wasn't the DSM-5 posted, leaked in its entirety online on Twitter somewhere? Yeah, it's out there. You can find it if you like Google around. Yeah, if you Google DSM-5 PDF, it'll come up. Lafano, hello. Feel young now. We realized around 13, 14 through some scaring others. We have memories of knowing about the system as a child. Yeah. That's not a leak, it's just a public resource, yeah. I would see two people in my head arguing and having angry facial expressions. Normal. Yeah. Archer, yeah, Archer's here. He's sleeping. Okay, almost caught up. Yeah, we started to piece everything together while seeing a therapist for PTSD. Then our communication started to happen more after that. Yeah, that's kind of what happened to us. I think the thing that really kicked it off for us, it was like two events. One was uncovering some previous relationship trauma, and another one was that fight with our mother that we talked about in our How We Found Out video. I think both of those were kind of like re-traumatizing in a way. Looking back, things I thought were attributed to my late diagnosis autism were not just strange autism things, but DID. One might say that DID is a strange autism thing. Okay, that's our theory. Sock system, hard face, yeah, love of our life. We actually took the mid ourselves, yeah. Got unofficially diagnosed recently. Congrats. Hello to Chris. How's it going? Hey, Campfire Systems here. How's it going? We had a pretty traumatizing experience shortly before discovering plurality and exploring our own. Not sure how related, but it's something, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly something. Boot system. I, as host, knew we were multiple people when the body was a teenage. Can you hear this fucking weed whacker? We talked about this last time. These people fucking live for their lawn. Yeah, you can't hear. I'm so sorry, guys. There's honestly nothing I can do. The windows are closed. I, Just anyone wondering if anyone knows if there's a link between dissociative disorders and autism. I've met loads of autistic systems, myself included. I was wondering about the overgap. Is that a neighbor vacuuming? No, that's a neighbor weed whacking. Can't fucking see them, but I know that's the way it is. Yeah, also autistic system here. Hello, hi. So like, we have a couple of theories for it. The first is that autistic people are more prone to trauma, either because they tend to be a little more sensitive, for better or for worse. What else? I'm getting fucking mind flooded here. More prone to trauma. More prone to being, like, not stigmatized necessarily. Like, more prone to being fucking picked on. Because, you know, we're autistic, but even if people don't know that you're autistic, they know that you're autistic. It's like a subconscious thing, I think. And this is something the ring system and us were discussing, that it might in some senses be a cultural thing, like the idea that it's one person, one body is something that's ingrained in our culture, and because autistic people aren't great at picking up cultural norms, it's something that we're more prone to getting from PTSD, if that makes sense. Question if there's a relation to autism myself or autistic, and every system we know is there does seem to be dissociative traits in autism shutdowns. So yeah, man. On the ADHD system train, hello brain cousins. And Sunday no less, yeah. It never fucking stops here, man. This is what we have to deal with in summer when recording. Like, the first couple of months of our channel, we tweet about this a lot, where it's like, it was either construction right there, or a lawnmower or weed whacker or leaf blower somewhere else in the neighborhood. I have a family member with both DID and autism like us, so I would say there appears to be a link on some level. Yeah, we so our whole immediate family is most likely autistic, right? It's just, one, that's just kind of how it goes, and two, like, we lived with them for fucking 20 years. Now that we know the traits in ourselves, we see all those traits in them. And we haven't, I'm being very careful with this wording, but we have another family member that we suspect is also a system, but we're letting that happen for itself. So I do think there is a correlation. Not autistic, but we are trans, so I keep wondering if trans and DID is a thing. Yes. I think that's a thing as well. There is also a significant overlap between trans people and autistic people. It's a 3-circle Venn diagram with a lot of overlap. there's so many trans multiples who are on that train too. Yeah, I think it's kind of a chicken and egg thing where it's like, we've kind of discussed within the system where it's like, are we trans because most of us are women, or are most of us women because we're trans? I can't even keep it at one consistent, like, it's fuck, man. Fuck that shit. Lawns need to be fucking abolished. We aren't diagnosed with autism, but our sister is 9 out of 10. Was 1 away from being diagnosed. I don't know the, like, what the like test or whatever is for autism. One of our friends got like professionally diagnosed as an adult for like for reasons. But yeah, we aren't professionally diagnosed, and we're not seeking that diagnosis because we do not need that like professional discrimination. I don't know. Our take on self-diagnosis is always like, the doctor doesn't give you the thing. Like, you already have the thing. Like, we aren't professionally diagnosed with TID either. We have a suggested diagnosis, but nothing on paper and nothing officially said. Our therapist has, said it to us, but it's not a diagnosis. It's a whole thing. We're not looking for a diagnosis. We don't need that discrimination either. We're also about 70% more likely to be hurt by caretakers from the stats. Yeah. Trans multiples unite. Hell yes. Trans ADHD autistic plural here. Yeah, you got it all, scribblers, huh? If anyone has done research about it, by the way, please message. Yeah, listen, this is all just our speculation and our personal, like, our personal experience and personal observations. But yeah, most of the people where we are from are very protective of anyone who can be considered any type of disabled other. That's very sweet. Makes sense. Part of me wants this, part of me wants that. Always confused us. We thought we were those parts, not actual people at first. Yeah. Wonder if being a system is at all related to being autistic, ADHD, or LGBT, because it seems like the overlap is huge in the DID OSDD community. Yeah. Board retirees and other ones. Yeah. Fuck, man. Trans non-binary ADHD multiple here. Yeah, we got a lot of societal outcasts here, huh? Yeah, weed whacker is a real word / thing. Do people not know the term weed whacker? Like it's like a stick. It's got like it's almost like a fucking zip tie on the end, and spins really fast, and just like it mows small bits of lawn. Autism, dissociative tendencies, and being trans all have genetic base, so not surprising. Yeah. We've been diagnosed with comorbid depressive disorder, anxiety disorder, ADHD, autism spectrum disorder type 1, CPSD, and of course we're trans. Yeah, that's a hard hand. We ourselves have got a bipolar, but I think the official diagnosis is unstable mood disorder, because we don't quite fit the dig fast, the like 7 criteria for bipolar. I think you're supposed to fit like 4 for a diagnosis, and we fit like 3 to 3.5. So yeah, I mean, the mood stabilizers we have work, so we got something. That runs in our family too, I think. Leadbacker sounds like a whale trying to sing, so it's more amusing than annoying. Yeah, yeah, we're just by the ocean. In our country, we don't have lawns. You lucky motherfucker. Sorry, I probably shouldn't swear at people so much. I probably shouldn't also say like man so much. It's hard to break out of ways that you talk, you know? Unkempt lawns look better. Yeah. I mean, gardens, I think, look best. Yo, the YouTube chat box thing fucking sucks. Like, if you scroll down to, like, close to the bottom, it'll, like, jump all the way to the bottom, even if, like, you're not quite there. Have you seen the movie Noise? It's about a person who's had enough of the noise around them, specifically people being loud, not minding others. That's an autistic mood. Safer to self-diagnose with the therapist's suggestion or whatever, but diagnosis can put you in harm's way. Professional opinion is good, but no diagnosis. That's a great point. Self-diagnose with help. I like that. I like that, man. Again, me saying man for people who may or may not be men. I use it, yeah. I grew up using it colloquially. It's not an excuse, it's just an explanation. I had to get a diagnosis because my therapist at the time refused to believe it was possible, even after we read her the diagnostic report, man. Yeah. Could make insurance issues complicated, yeah. I'm trans, OSTD, a person of color, and a Jewish convert. Hell yeah. Self-diagnosis is perfectly valid. You know what you know, no matter if the veil of awareness is up or down, if that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. We live in Asia, the Philippines, so we've never seen or heard of weed whacker before. Okay, that makes sense. We thought it was an American thing, but also a joke. I wish it was a joke. Anyone who says you need to be professionally diagnosed to be valid doesn't understand financial issues, racial discrimination, medicine, as well as how fucking horrible society is to DID folks. Yeah. Sandra was talking about this on, I think, our first stream. Anyone who gatekeeps DID and being trans, especially with needing some sort of like professional diagnosis or like some sort of doctor's approval, it's inherently like classist, racist, ableist, all sorts of shit, man. Ageist to a degree, probably. I'm gonna say sexist too. It's a lot of shit. A lot of shit intersects, and like, it all fucking sucks. It's just safer not to have one most of the time, yes. Ring system always hit a nail on the head. Definitely American thing, yeah. I want an official diagnosis so I can help use it against my imposter syndrome when it rears its ugly head. So we were talking about this with Ring System literally like 5 minutes before the stream, where like Sandra some community drama stuff kicked up Sandra's "Am I faking" thing again. And we were saying like we need to make her a scrapbook of like shit you definitely did not fake or definitely could not fake. Yeah. So we're gonna do that at some point. It'll be a little gift for her, I guess. What are friends for? A long time ago, we wanted to be diagnosed on paper, but over time, we're able to be happy not having it on paper. We even made a joke before that if we ever got diagnosed, we'd frame it on our wall. It's funny. Our official diagnoses are autism, ADHD, comorbid, MDD. I don't know MDD. Multiple identities, CPTSD, and hallucinations of traumatic origin, unofficial DID, and dysphoria. Your live streams are so chill. Just thanks for doing them. Thank you for coming to watch, and I'm glad that they're chill. You know, in crazy ass times, sometimes we need just a chill moment. We dreamt of having a lawn and backyards as we grew up, but realized maybe lawns are a lot of work. Lawns are a lot of work. We used to have to mow a lot. For a while, we actually helped our grandparents mow as well. Which that was fine, even though they have a bigger backyard than our mother does. Just because, like, I don't know, something different about it. The appreciation, probably. Because of the therapist, we were scared to mention DID to our current one. We ended it with the first one, but she's been wonderful. Yeah. It'd be like that. Hello, Claudia. We see the body as a non-binary trans femme, also self-diagnosed. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know that Sandra is a non-binary woman, or she considers herself non-binary. She considers herself that. Scrapbook is an awesome idea, thank you. Doesn't help my imposter syndrome that I'm front stuck and haven't been able to even see Headspace except the first breakthrough and finding the system back in January. It takes time. You also may be switching without. You also may be switching without realizing it. I know that's what was happening with Sandra. Major depressive disorder. Okay, that makes sense. Didn't catch the scrapbooking idea. What was that? A scrapbooking idea of like shit you definitely didn't fake for Sandra, or like shit you couldn't have faked. Someone also says MDD is maladaptive daydreaming disorder. Either way. We struggle with self-doubt even with things we have been professionally diagnosed with. We've been told by our therapist that it's common to doubt yourself when you have trauma. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, yeah. We're not going to get into our background with that, but like, yeah, we definitely know where this doubt comes from in Sandra. And the idea of like, I'm doing this for attention, or what if I'm doing this for attention? We know where that comes from, but it doesn't make it easier. It takes time. I'm just impatient. Yeah. Dysphoria when your host is weird because we blur a lot, so people almost feel my dysphoria, so I thought all my alters were trans. Yeah. Sometimes noticing switching without worrying who's there before and after is a good step for figuring things out. Yeah, that sounds... I'm not gonna touch my fucking eyes because we got cat hair in our eye before, and that was a big pain. Had to go put fucking contact solution in our eyes because we don't have actual eye drops. Worked though. It's meant to go in your eyes anyway. What are some favorite smells of your alters? Does anyone dislike someone else's favorite? I like my favorite smell is probably my perfume. Lord of Misrule from Lush. We got it in like the like solid perfume form. I like that a lot better than like the spray. I think the spray's a little much. This one I can kind of like apply as much as I want, like very controlled. I know a couple of us really like the smell of like cinnamon buns for like happy memory reasons. I don't think that anyone dislikes anyone's favorite smells. Um, I know there's someone who likes gasoline, and someone who's like who is either like neutral or like positive on like the smell of skunk. So as a um, switching without realizing is definitely a thing. We sometimes don't always figure out right away when one happens. Yeah. Something on our mind that's difficult to talk about with singlets in system relationships. Yeah, we actually just made our video about Ellen and Sandra's relationship private for reasons. We made a couple of videos private recently for reasons related to drama. But yeah, Sandra says in that video, like, being a host in a relationship with someone in your system is it feels like a step too far for some people. Like, she said, like, she'll talk about the system and people will accept it, and then she'll talk about being in a relationship with someone in the system and they'll go, oh yeah, you're actually crazy, huh? Like, they won't say that, but they'll say it without saying it. I don't know the first thing about noticing switching except when others co-friend. Just try and figure out when you don't feel like yourself. I guess that's the best idea I can give you. It takes practice. What's really fun is when you think, am I faking? And then another alter says, no, you're not. And then you argue back, yeah, but maybe I'm making you say that, yeah. We have this, we retweet this every once in a while because we think it's funny, but there is a tweet thread that we have from back in like last May that's like Sandra worrying about being fake. And then someone just fucking interjects with a tweet that just says, girl, we're real. And then she goes into a spiral about like, did I really do that or whatever? It's like, just fucking chill. Night in the Woods, baby. Yeah. Surprised I haven't split from that video game. Yeah. Hard to catch. Sometimes we'll feel switched like shifts, similar to like being on a roller coaster without knowing who's actually doing the switching. Huh. I love Lush. It's been too long since I've gotten anything from them. Yeah. You know, I can actually take a bath again since our tattoo's healed. I should use my bubble bars. Oh yeah. I might want more body wash too. I'm a real Lush bitch. Like, I love that company. Like fuck capitalism. No company is your friend. But I think that from what I know and have seen and have heard about Lush's business practices, I like it. I appreciate that they take care. You know, their shit's expensive because they take special care in it, like making sure everything's ethically sourced and like everything's made by hand, and they throw out anything that's like, well, they don't throw it out, but they like give to their employees anything that's like already broken when it gets to the store. Not gonna touch my fucking eyes. Stop. Me at me. And I hear they treat their employees well. I think that during pandemic stuff, they're actually paying employees who like aren't able to come in, which is more than we could say for our company. Our former company. Just wondering, does any other system attempt to use /use, I don't know, use a sort of reverse grounding to enter the inner world? Not dissociating, but using grounding techniques in the inner world to focus on it. That's interesting. Normally we just try and fucking dissociate. But Ring System says that's what their therapist told them to do. You should try that. We only have 6-ish alters out of 28 that aren't fictives. Wow. Got a real menagerie. Oh man, we are behind on the chat. Reminds me of that big brain meme where the lowest tier was I'm faking, the highest tier was my alters are faking being a system. Yeah, we made that. That was us. Or we made the original. There was some system on Tumblr that ripped us off, but maybe they just had the same idea, but also interesting how some of us have favorite sensor clones, especially since they can even trigger us out sometimes. My scent is Teakwood from Bath & Body Works. Nice. I think Bath & Body Works is the one that we can't go into in the mall because it just fucking gives us asthma attacks. But I like Bath & Body Works stuff when not in that store. I don't know what teakwood smells like, but that sounds good. It smells like earthy. Sounds like earthy. For grounding in the inner world, Ring System says we touch textures and objects, and our therapist suggested finding similar textures, smells, sensations to touch in the outer world at the same time that you're in it. Interesting. That video meant a lot to us. We have an in-system relationship too, but it's understandable if you don't want drama. I'm sorry. We might do a redo on that. We took it down. There's some stuff in there that we're not super comfortable with now. Like Sandra mentions, she briefly mentioned some sex stuff, and that's something that we're no longer really comfortable with talking about it on the channel. Because some of our family follows us. We might do a redo of that. There's also some in-system stuff that I'm not going to go into that. Our inner world is a meadow in the middle of nowhere, so it's a lot of touching grass and putting your hands in soil inside. Yeah, that's Sandra's room. It's like a big field of flowers. When I don't feel like myself, so you mean all the time. Sorry. Our friends haven't been very understanding about DID in general. They've pulled away. I'm sorry. That sucks. Find friends who either are systems or are willing to deal with you. And not deal with you, you know, willing to be supportive of you. That's the term. My philosophy is like, they were probably shitty friends anyway. using 5 senses steps to ground, but instead focusing on inner world while doing so. Yeah. Mind denial arguments. Grell and Rainier love Lush. Hell yeah. Rainier, we gotta talk about Lush sometime. Completely new to the JID community, Veil of Awareness has lifted again despite struggling, are finding great comfort in your vids and the ring systems too. Hell yeah, thank you. I'm glad that you find comfort in it. That's like that's our goal, you know? Our body is too tall for most bats. Yeah, we barely fit in ours. We have nowhere in the world because we have aphantasia. Aphantasia is you have no like visual imagination, if that makes sense. You can't visualize things. It's possible for us to break through that and eventually build one, theoretically. I know that I think it's Squidlarkin, where some of them have aphantasia and then some don't. So it's possible just some of you are able to access it and some aren't. I don't know. It's something that you might be able to just access different senses with. Sandra says the strongest sense for her in the inner world is touch. So you might be able to do something with that. Oh my god. If you have complete aphantasia, then it would probably be hard, but it took us years to find our inner world. It was locked away with another altar. Yeah. I think a hard thing about coming to terms with DID in therapy has been going in cycles of denial and hesitance in trying to communicate and make things better, because what if I'm just feeding a delusion? So, like, the best advice I can give you is, if it helps, who cares? Like, let's go to the extreme here. Let's say that, what if this theoretical person doesn't have DID, but going through the actions that one would take to help someone with DID helps them? What There's no tangential or tangible difference. It's like, even if you don't fit all the criteria, if working through it in this way helps you, then who cares? That's where I'm at basically with that. Have you ever had a similar issue? Yeah. Sandra has that all the fucking time. I'm pretty much good on it because, like, I think it's kind of a host thing where, like, I don't have the misfortune of thinking that I'm the main one or whatever, or like I'm the real one, you know. Complete aphantasia for all senses. That sucks. I'm not sure if you would be able to build an inner world then. I would ask your other people in your system if they experience the same thing. Rainey's husband can't go into Bath and Body Works either because of the smells. Yeah, Tiku is very earthy and nice mask smells without being too overpowering. Hell yeah. You don't have to redo the video if you're uncomfortable. You just don't feel obligated to. No. We don't feel obligated to. It's just that, like, I don't know. I think that there are some videos that we did early on that, like, we either don't feel the same now or feel like we could have approached better. Sandra's persecutor video comes to mind, where, like, we don't fully agree with that anymore. We're kind of working with a two Sandra idea, where, like, Ring System has been talking about the Silver Squad. And that's happened to several people in the system where when you don't know who you are, you pick someone to be, you know? So we think that there are several people who have picked Sandra, just for lack of a better person. So, like, we think that there's a persecutor thinking that they're Sandra. It's a whole thing. They're not bad or really malicious or anything. They're just another person, and they're trying their best, you know? I don't even think they're consciously doing this. But anyway. So yeah, some things we just kind of want to redo. Most of the stuff we'll probably just leave up. Just because we like seeing the progression, you know? Our body is 6'4", tall. We're 5'10", I think. I'm sorry that we're also like 2 full minutes behind the chat, because, like, I'm trying to read every message here and try and, like, respond. We'll catch up eventually. Every system deserves system friends and really good singlet friends. Yes, they do. Really uneasy with touch, though I appreciate the thought. Fair. I wonder if lucid dream stabilization techniques help with inner world grounding. They might. Ours is humongous. Our base. People are talking about their inner worlds, and they're all very cool. Man. Not sure if it would help, but I have learned through meditation research that sometimes speaking or thinking words about what you are experiencing rather than actually visualizing helps. That's interesting. For example, I'm walking through a forest, there are trees around me, etc. Interesting. We just tried touching a table in Headspace and real space at the same time, and now we have a copy of the real space table in Headspace. It's funny. Goodbye to Kira. Sorry that you gotta go. Hopefully you can make it back before we end. We'll probably go like 2 hours today. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Patchwork Systems also heading out. See you, Patchworks. Talk to you soon. Alright. Hey, we caught up. Singlets. Still trying to learn the language among the community. Is it just me, or does singlets sound kind of reductive and dismissive? No thoughts, or just thoughts, no big deal. I think that every community needs a term for people outside of that community, especially if it's like if outside that community is seen as the default. Um, like cis people. Cis isn't a slur or anything bad or anything normal. It's just cis. Your your gender aligns with what you were assigned at birth. So singlets, it's not the normal. It's not better or worse. It's just different. You know? Um, I got strong opinions. Sorry. Yo, Nodes, we miss you too. Um, hey, if you guys want a card, we're sending out some cards in the mail. Nodes, text us. Just saw this live stream show up on our front page. I've been watching some of your videos to try and understand myself. Cool to see you in a slightly different context this time. Thanks. I work out. So like, yeah, we were talking before about how it's different, like live rather than like pre-recorded and edited and shit. We come off like way less articulate because we don't take like 5 runs at a sentence. Switch headaches suck, yeah. By having a word for other folks, it changes from normal versus multiple to singlets versus multiples. Yeah, exactly. The only other word we know for singlets is non-multiple, and it's a bit long when you're in a hurry sometimes. Yeah, I've also heard singleton. Reminds me of like Templeton the Rat from Charlotte's Web. Singlet's a better word. I agree that it's a better word than using normal or something that would alienate us, yeah. Always reminds me of the word muggle. I suppose we need a system name. How do we even start with that? Maybe it'll just come to me. Yeah, I mean, pick something that y'all will agree on. But like, I find the best system names just kind of come out of nowhere. I don't remember how we settled on Alexandrite system. Like, yeah, I don't know. We were the Shining system for a while, or like Sandra, Ellen, Glow, Sunny were the Shining system, because Ellen means torch, glow, and then Sunny, they're all like light things, and then Sandra didn't count herself as an alter really. So like it worked until I came along. Or it barely worked until I came along. Whatever. So yeah, just keep yourself open to it, you know? Always had an issue with how singlet sounds. It sounds diminutive like piglet. I can see that. We chose our system name by picking something strong and meaningful to all of us in different ways. It was a good step in communicating. Yeah. Singleton is fine to me, yeah. We are normal, we just aren't seen as normal. Yeah. So saying singlet just separates them from us without saying we're somehow not normal. Yeah. I feel like if I said singlet out loud would just sound cringe to others, so I tend to say average. That makes sense. Cringe terminology for my fail mental illness. I don't know, that meme cracks me up. Single Roni. Love sitting down and having a big bowl of single Roni at the end of the night. We chose the Gorgon system because we think Gorgons are strong and cool looking and a little bit intimidating. Yeah. Medusa's head was traditionally used in I think Greece as a like women's shelter symbol, something like that. Have you ever made life-changing decisions before you knew you had alters to consider in making them? For example, I decided to transition a couple of years. Yeah, we transitioned before finding out, and we scheduled an orchiectomy shortly after. But that was something we were all more or less cool with then. I'm sure some of us nowadays would like have an objection to it, but they're already out. Like, there has been very little difference in our life. Puts mouthwash in mouthwash system. Single Roni, the San Francisco treat. Oh, fuck, man. We went from patchwork to Matryoshka, now masked. Patchwork, because we seemed randomly put together. Matryoshka, because we were rapidly expanding and seemingly new layers. And masked, because username. Our system name has changed over the years, yeah. Decided to get a bunch of tattoos before she knew we were a system, and so now we agreed that everyone gets a free pass for tattoos for a while to make up for it. Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, we got this one before we knew about the system, and we got. I probably can't show this off very well. Don't know if you can see that, but we got that one before we knew about the system too. This one and this one we got after. Can you see that? Anyway, yeah. Tattoos are kind of like a speak now or forever hold your peace kind of thing for us now. Chen says the big life changes without consulting the system would be my second and current marriage. 2012, and I didn't know I was a system until this past December. Yeah. We started transitioning back in like 2013. We didn't like medically transition until probably like 2017, I think. We kept meaning to, and it was a whole thing. To think we could have somehow been even hotter. We transitioned before we knew we were a system, but everyone is mostly okay with it. Some wish the body was more androgynous, yeah. We love our system name, but we were constantly having to explain it to people, yeah. I think I was there when y'all changed your system name. Oh, no, you changed it over text after. But I remember you changing it. I thought to y'all, we were talking about system names that are like Bob or other really common system names, and Solar System and Patchwork System are very common system names, yeah. Legion is also a common one that we said to y'all. I'm surprised Ecosystem isn't more common. We did call our kids the PBS kids. That's cute. We also transitioned. Oh, where'd you go? We also transitioned way before we knew about the system, and now we have a male alter who has to deal with dysphoria because of that. Yeah. You're probably never going to meet Robin for that reason. Zari is system name. We don't know where it came from, but the others insisted. That's neat. Ecosystem would be really cute, yeah. Digestive system, that's cool. Nervous system would also be cool. Man, eyes are being weird. Someday I'll have a system name that we all agree on. Been going by Team Harmony, but we are anything but harmonious, yeah. Nervous system for when you're all full of anxiety, yeah. Jesus Christ. Sorry. My My heel hit this. We settled on the system name the Star Squad because the Star system was already taken. System names, it's like you don't have to have an original name. Like, it's okay to have, the Solar System or Legion or Patchworks. It's fine. If that means something to you, like, fucking go for it, man. Much like the joke about, like, the standard trans names, It's like, if that's what speaks to you, just fucking do it. Who cares? One of our alters was dormant until after we started transitioning. They turned out to be trans and came out recently. Happy to have woken up in the body, she whined, but didn't think would happen. That's very sweet. Just put your system name as your first and last name for your YouTube channel. I mean, I'm sure our email is hooked up to, like, the Alexandrite last name system. Yes, it's me, Mrs. System. Because Singlet calls us the Squad ever since he found out about our D&D. Our therapist said that she, like, refers to us in her head as the Squad. It's like squad goals. First name, the last name, blank system, yeah. The way we see it, system names are just like regular names. Several systems people can have the same names. Yeah, we actually have run into 2 other Alexandrite systems. We saw one on Reddit do an AMA one time, and I guess there was one on Tumblr. I think we saw like a call-out post for them or something, and briefly we thought it was for us. Our Singlet friend calls us the gang, so they'd be like, the whole gang's here. Yeah, it's cute. I suggested no gender gang, ironically, and some really like that. You get fun emails like, hello, the... We've ran into a rank system before, and that was pretty neat. We both had good name ideas, I guess, yeah. That's a good way of thinking about it. We had the same rank system with the YouTube channel. Yep, that's the same rank system. I want us to run into another Pinkberry system. Public Broadcasting System is a good name. The Gang, spelled G-A-Y-N-G. Been watching so many DID channels. Hell yeah. There's a lot of good ones out there. A lot of small ones that are really good. Not that the big ones aren't good, but, like, support your local indie creators or whatever, The ASMR system where persecutors just whisper at other alters. ASMR roleplay. I am an alter in your system and I am persecuting you. 5 hours. Makeup complete. You feel pretty. Fantastic. Nice job. Hopefully we don't meet any Scribbler systems. I haven't met another Scribblers. I like your name a lot. We're looking to make a website and community for Brisbane since there are a few creators here. Hell yes. You should definitely do that. I think having other friends doing YouTube, system-wise, really, it helps you creatively and motivationally, protectors and caretakers in the ASMR system be like, tells you it will be okay while you have a panic attack 2 hours. Oh man. I keep saying that there's definitely a market for system ASMR. At a conference we were at, we saw a system called the Home Security System, and that's one of our favorite system names ever. Hell yes. There was a really good one, but translate term for. Oh, did we come back? Chat, we here? We're gone. So our connection went unstable for a second. We actually decided to just mobile tether. See how it goes. That might be the lie. Going in now. The unstable. If we looks like it's more stable again. We'll see how that ends up looking on the VOD. Anyway, what the fuck was I talking about? Oh, very little information on systems in Portuguese. I don't even think there's a translated term for OSTD. So it would be really nice to bring more information and resources for people. You should definitely do that if you are able. I think that also, if you don't have a translated term for OSTD, try looking up a translated term for DDNOS, because it's possible that just hasn't like fully changed the name over yet. Maybe, I don't know. It's always a whole thing. We good now, by the way? Like, is the video fine for y'all? Stream good. Okay, cool. ICD-10 should have a translated term, right? Stupid American here thought that DSM was like the thing. Check and see if we're gone or just lagging. Just laggy. Okay. I was thinking of trying to connect to a different internet, but I think I'm gonna stick with this for a minute and see if it'll catch up. Our channel will be a channel for animations, LPs, and hopefully a few Minecraft roleplays. RPs, named for stories. That's cool. Clear one moment, lagging next. Okay, give us a second. Hopefully this won't cut the whole stream, but my connection is... your connection is dissociating. Alright, let's have a switch. One switches camera rather than on camera, yeah. We're back. Cool. Cool. Okay. So we'll stick on this internet for a while. Probably gonna end the stream at 3 anyway. Favorite drink? I really don't like food. Food or drink. I don't know. I'll say hot chocolate or something. That's a fair system answer. Not to be fan on main, but we really appreciate you in the ring system because we don't know a live OSTD channels, except especially really calm ones who don't talk about trauma as the main focus on every video. Yeah, we try and kind of keep that to a minimum. It's something that's definitely necessary for a lot of systems. And having that support out there for like how to deal with trauma as a system is definitely necessary. We have our medical trauma video that I'm actually pretty proud of, even though we probably shouldn't have made it while we were sick. Good one to watch if you're kind of freaked out lately. Kind of talk about medical trauma, and like there's a little bit at the end for like if you're a kid in your system and you're sick right now. But yeah, thank you, appreciate that. Okay, here's my thing. Yeah, so Left at London came out as OSDD. Yeah. So she said that that she had watched the Ring Systems videos. Like she showed her mom the Ring Systems videos when explaining OSDD, and since we've done collaborations with Ring System and we're also an OSDD system, and like you're gonna watch every OSDD system on YouTube because there's like 3 of us. I think there is a decent chance that she's seen our videos. And I think that's fucking cool. Like, fucking trans icon. She was also on the same stream that Plural Gang happened on. There's like 3 of us, that's how we feel, yeah. So yeah, that's her, that's the high that we've been on lately. We're talking about Left at London, Naomi. Trans artist. Do you remember that Vine that's like, haha, I do that? Yeah, that's Left at London from years ago. Also, me sees Left at London come out as OSTD. I do that. No, I don't find. Yeah, that's fair. Just so happens that both of y'all, Rings and y'all, are some of our best friends. Hell yeah. Nodes. This is the music artist, yeah. I don't think that links work in chat, etceteras. You can try. But Left at London, she's on Twitter, and her stuff's on YouTube, a lot of it. 6 Feet, I think the song is explicitly about OSTD, according to her. Trigger warning on that song for like death and suicidal ideation. So yeah, that's it. It's a good song. It slaps. She's writing another OSTD one. Cool. Hello to Pluvia Solaris System. Oh, that's a space name if I ever heard it. Ring System says, I wish large DID channels would talk about OSTD stuff because there's probably so many multiples who are questioning because of those channels but are unsure about the amnesia thing. Yeah, we have our own theories about like why the bigger ones might not be comfortable addressing that, and it has some gatekeepy answers. They have mentioned OSTD, and like they will bring it up from time to time. But I also think that they just don't have experience in it, so they don't feel comfortable talking about it properly. I don't know. I'm the person who always thinks the most malicious thing, you know. Glad that some systems on YouTube mention OSTDB. They kind of forget to include a lot, so you feel really alone when they always mentioned it, but it requires some amnesia, etc. Yeah. Really hope she does write another song because it's really rare, if at all, two songs are literally about plurality. Yeah, it's wild. Amnesia thing held me back for so long. Remember looking into DID a few years back and reading about the amnesia thing and being like, hello, how are you doing, Kat? Sorry. Being like, well, that's not me. Yeah, we were saying to our therapist back in 2018, I think we've said this every stream now, like our most frequently said phrase back then was, I know I don't have a DID, but. And the but was because we don't black out. This is Archer. He's a good boy. Okay, he wants down. Oh, sorry, Ken. You good? Okay. The focus on serious trauma, plus the focus on serious trauma consistently in the shoes of. I'm positive you could just hear him shake out. He's cute. Plus the focus on serious trauma constantly in the shoes of blank memory trauma what? And it makes us sad that there's not a live rep for those who don't know or don't vibe with that. Yeah. Yo, what? Left at London sent you preview lyrics on DMs? That's lucky. Meant Wade Left at London come out as OSTD 1B. We didn't actually realize we were a system until seeing all your videos, the Ring system too. That is flattering. Thank you. Wish my music was famous. Yeah, don't we all? Remember when we heard of OSTD, we literally cried. Honestly, now that I look at it, we found out about it because of you in the Ring system, but we forgot about y'all for a long time until this year. You heard him shake, yeah. We just have vague memories because we are sure it's because of you in the Ring system that we found out OSTD existed. Damn. What are you doing? Why are you shaking the table? Dude, I've been crying for months. I'm sorry. We cried the first time we saw an OSTD YouTube video too, says the Ring system. Representation's important, you know? I think we said this on the last stream, but the Ring system was one of our first introductions to OSTD. Like, I think that the system that helped us figure out what was going on with us, I think they briefly mentioned the term OSTD 1B. but we never really looked into it, or we looked into it a little bit but didn't really understand it. But yeah, ring system played nicely, so that helped. Not to use humor as a coping mechanism, but crying game, rise up. Just really excited to have finally figured out the puzzle. We were super confused for months, yeah. I'm glad you figured it out. It was the Anthony Padilla interview that made me realize I'm a very new system. You are a very new system. Well, you're a very newly awoken system or whatever, you know? Yeah. Anthony Padilla video is really good. I thought it was going to be bad. Not gonna lie, I saw it come up on my feed or whatever, and I saw it was titled like multiple personalities, and I was like, oh Jesus Christ. And so I was like, I'm not gonna watch that. It's gonna be like the I don't know what channel did this interview, but it was with Encina whatever. And like her I feel so bad for her because that interview was absolute garbage. Like I think the thing that sticks out is that she was talking about like, you know, switching with someone else, and she was talking about how her like one of her littles has their own protector, and if things get like weird for that little, that protector will switch in. And the interviewer was like, so it's almost like your little also has DID. I'm like, yes, honey. The person with DID also has DID. Like, fuck, man. Like, you know, you can't be too hard on people who are like just learning it, but like, God. I'm glad someone else remembers that, yeah. That interview is fucking awful. I feel bad because that system seems really nice. And incredibly patient, probably more patient than they should have been. Oh, there was another part where he was like, so I could be talking to someone else and not even know. Like, how would I even know that you're Encina? And she was like, well, I am, and I would tell you. And he was like, but you could be. And she was like, but I'm not. Like that was the point where I was like, she might actually snap. So yeah, that's that. Anyway, the Anthony Padilla video is good. We only watched it because the Redwoods mentioned it in. They either texted us or they mentioned it in chat that we're in. What are you doing, Kat? What are you doing? He's being weird. And we were like, oh, the Redwoods are in it, and they're saying it's good. So we gotta fucking watch this now. Our friends are in. And then we proceeded to share it with everyone we knew and said, hey, look at our friends. Archer is being chaotic, and we do love him too. We're not DOD, but that's due to a lack of distress. But we still enjoy watching these channels because it gives us more info on it. Plus, we do gain some info we can use just for ourselves. Yeah. Like, the medical model of multiplicity and plurality is not perfect, and I would even say that it's not good. But, like, it's what a lot of people are attached to, and I don't blame them. So, like, I don't know. Yeah, so if you don't have distress, yeah, you're not DID or OSDD, even if you fit the rest of the criteria, because it has to be distressing for you. It has to be disordered. So it's like saying, like, Kat, what are you doing? You wake up and you're fucking around at the end of the live stream. Come on. I don't know who the Redwood system is. Who are they? They are a system that does a lot of public speaking. They are on Twitter at Treemunity, I believe. TreeMunity, I believe. But yeah, it's like when you come to this model and you say you need to have DID or OSDD to consider yourself a system, but you have all the criteria, but you're not disordered, so you no longer fit the criteria for DID. It's like we're playing by your rules, and this doesn't work. So that's my opinion. Distress criteria needs work. Yeah, took me the whole live stream to realize Arch's named the cat. Sorry. Redwoods is a great system that does workshops and presentations. We're friends and they're really nice. Yeah, same. They're nice friends. Good people. Our first few months after realizing was just grasping for a reason why. And the only reason we didn't just go for the medical model is probably because we knew how bad those can be because we're trans. Yeah, man. If we want to get bottom surgery, the thing is, like, you have to have like any mental issues have to be like under control or whatever. And a lot of psych people, if you're switching and dissociating and, you know, communicating with your system, will say that you don't have that under control. Like our psychiatrist said, like we told her about our therapy and stuff. And she said, have you seen like a reduction in dissociative symptoms? And we just said yes. Because I'm like 90% sure what she meant by that was, are you still switching? Just don't disclose your system stuff. That too. The thing with that is that often if you're getting a letter from a psychiatrist, they'll talk to your therapist if you have a therapist. So if you're disclosing it there, they might talk about that. I'm not going to say it's a definite thing. I'm not going to say it's necessarily a thing that will like guarantee that you'll get turned down. Like I'm sure that it has happened that a trans person said, I have DID, but everyone has happened like once at least, you know. But it's not worth the risk. Like if you're if that is a big dysphoric point to you, like why risk that? So yeah. Yep, Ring System says we're going to be talking a lot more about that sort of stuff on our channel in the future. Yeah, like Ring System is going to do this whole like disability justice thing and like mad pride and all that, and it slaps. So like, we're really into the term slaps right now. The term slaps. We were talking to our gender specialist and she started dead naming us as soon as we told her about the system, not our choice, even though she knew we all ID as non-binary. Fuck that, man. I hate the people that you have to deal with for this. Like, our urologist's office, like the surgeon himself is fine, he's a nice guy. But like every nurse fucking dead named and misgendered me while I was there. Like, and our name was legally changed by that point. So like, why? Stop. Get some help. I don't know. It fucking sucks. Everything sucks. I'm sorry. that is part of the reason we've been so scared to interact with the community. We have trauma origins, but seeing as a lot of bigger systems are gatekeepy scared us from accepting our origin. Yeah, that's the shit where, like, listen, I'm not trying to call out any specific systems or say that they're not doing good work, because I think that, I think that Dissociated and Co. are have good work out there. I think that a lot of their stuff is pretty good. But the constant reinforcement of, like, you need this, it's like, shit isn't that cut and dry. Like, you can, I don't know. I think they put too much faith in the medical system when it has repeatedly failed people. And I think that I don't know. I think that sucks. And I think that they don't know, not them specifically, but I think that there's this big problem in the gatekeepy areas of this where they're like, the science says that, it is 100% caused by trauma. You have to have trauma to have DID. And it's like, it's associated with trauma. It is correlated with trauma, but you cannot say for sure, because that's how science works. You cannot say you can't do this. Like, you can't prove a negative. You can't prove that you can't have DID if you don't have trauma. If that makes sense. It just drives me fucking nuts. And it's like, I don't even disagree that traumagenic systems like us should have our own space. I just kind of wish they would listen. I don't know. That's it. I like them. I think they do good work. I think that maybe they should just, I don't know. Do you think we need to tell our therapists that we are plural? We do IFS therapy, and our current diagnosis is for CPTSD. What benefits are there to coming out in therapy? I don't know. Sorry, you can almost for sure hear that buzzing. Sorry. Being trans and people of color really is giving me brain damage. I'm sorry. No excuse for dead naming anyone. Yes. This is just Too Cute versus True Scum, just a different community. Yeah. Oh, one of you is masc/femme. Well, have you considered your alters are UID like this? Yeah. Yeah, that's some bullshit. To be honest, we were terrified of the system because of that. Also, talking about ourselves online anywhere was scary, but it took us 2 years to accept that we're a system. Actually, even now we're scared of talking about anything related to systems. Our Tumblr post is basically us taking a risk every post. Honestly, I had to realize I was plural before I realized I had trauma. I think that just how it had to be for me. Yes, I think that is important too. I think that shutting out people who say that they don't have trauma, but their system eliminates people that might have trauma. And I think that you should definitely be wary of people who are like, I'm gonna help you realize that you have trauma. I think that's fucking weird. And like, I don't know. You know what I'm getting at. But Silver, you're right. Saunders gonna get on my ass about this. It's whatever. We had to talk about it eventually. Hey, Archer's back. Yeah, I don't know. I think that it's a complicated issue, man. And I don't think that it's entirely black and white. I'm not even saying it's like you should definitely accept all systems in your community, or that you should definitely mold your content to all systems, or even that you should like all systems. It's like, no, just like stop saying shit that's incorrect. That's all I ask. And again, this isn't calling out anyone. It's just saying, like, be open. It's also created an environment where many systems feel like they need to know about their trauma to feel valid, and then go digging and re-traumatize themselves. Like, it hurts DID, OSDD folks too, man. Yes. And that is why I always appreciate when y'all say, don't go digging for your trauma. Like, if you're meant to figure it out, you're gonna figure it out eventually, or you're gonna figure it out in therapy or something. I think most of the popular systems on YouTube operate under the "it's my way or the highway" in terms of this is my experience, and if you don't share it, you're not correct. I think that's true to a degree. No, it's fine, Master System. Like, Sandra shouldn't have agreed to let me do the live stream. No, I'm joking. If she really didn't want me to talk about this, she would have power pushed me, or she would have sent me shit. She's talked about it a little on stream anyway. I'm just saying in a more direct and extreme way. I feel it's true, and the gatekeeping community is really what had us even want to have a professional diagnosis on paper in the first place. Yeah, like if we weren't real if we couldn't say that we had DID or anything. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's just it hurts people within your own subset of the community too. Like, this is not a good comparison. It's not an apt comparison, but a comparison is how bathroom laws that are aimed against trans women also hurt gender non-conforming cis women. It's like, and obviously the people making those laws don't give a shit, but imagine you're a gender non-conforming cis woman and you're advocating for trans women to never be let into the women's restroom. It's like, this is going to hurt people in your thing as well, in your group as well. Like, I don't know. That's Heart you, Claudia. It's a good live stream. I heart you too, random commenter. Liminal system. Yeah, hell yeah. Hurt people hurt people. Citation Greenberg 2010. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to start saying that. Thanks. There has to be spaces for those who aren't ready to process or accept the trauma, which doesn't seem to exist right now. Yeah. Which leads to denial or re-traumatization, neither good or okay. Yeah. I think as I've been saying, there needs to be a space for systems who have trauma and know they have trauma and know what their trauma is and need to recover from, the PTSD thing of that. There needs to be other spaces, and there needs to be a mingling of spaces as well, because I think that there is something to learn from other types of systems. Like the term host comes from the endogenous community. It might even come from the tulpa community, I forget. But like a lot of the terms that these people use, they don't know the origins of them. It's the thing where you don't learn the history of your own community, and then you pretend that the history of your community is something else. It's frustrating. I have no idea how H brought this up to our therapist in the first place, but she already knew about the system by the time I showed up again. It's good to have other people, I decay what our trauma is, but I'm fairly certain we're traumagenic. Don't go looking for it without a therapist. And I said that a little intensely. Don't go looking for it without a therapist. It's only going to hurt you. So anyway, that was like my 30-minute rant. Most of the terms used were from shared spaces. Yeah. So like, I don't know. I think that the insistence that non-traumagenic systems shouldn't use the word system because it's a medical term is just incorrect. I'm sorry, it's not. It's just what is. It's used in a medical sense, but it's historically what's been used for like everyone. And also, yeah. Ring System says, I mean, heck, old Cluft papers even talk about therapists picking up tools that are standard today from their patients and from their community, which was mixed at the time. Thank you. Cluft is a bastard and I hate him, but sometimes he's right. I don't know. So, in conclusion, we are traumagenic. We love traumagenic systems. I would say a majority, if not all of the systems that we like are friends with are traumagenic. But we know our history. And I think it's important to stand with these people and support them. Or even just acknowledge them in a positive sense and not go picking fights in tags specifically for them. Maybe. Anyway. Yeah, Cleft is an old DID researcher. he was like at the forefront of a lot of stuff for a long time. I think most of his significant work is in like the 80s and 90s. Ran across that while researching for a paper a few semesters ago. We had to go through some old works from the 19 whatevers and saw that, yeah. By that logic, you can't you call yourself... By that logic, can't you not call yourself trans because it has a medical origin unless you fit a medical dysphoria diagnosis? Interesting. I don't know. All I'm saying is that in the DSM, it specifically excludes cultural and religious multiple experiences for a reason. It's like, yeah, it acknowledges that it exists, but it isn't DID and OSD, and that is important to acknowledge. I don't know. Yeah, it's a good tag. To us, a united front will do more better than our current divided front in terms of activism. That's how so many other minorities do it, especially when our percentage in larger society isn't known. Ring system, this is the shit that we were talking about, where like big systems don't do disability activism. They do like general awareness, and that's fine. But like we need to, if we are advocating for normalcy in society, we need activism, not just awareness. And I'm gonna stop. Dysphoric incongruence is currently classified by the UN and the World Health Organization as gender incongruence, not to be confused with trans itself. Visibility politics are never enough, yes. Thank you, Ring System. We are traumagenic ourselves, but we find it's important to understand and respect others' beliefs. Because we only have one perspective on things, we want to be therapists one day. Okay, I was wondering, Ring System, if you wanted us to like cut that out of the VOD or something. Like, I wasn't sure why you retracted it. Anyway, yeah, exactly. That's exactly how we feel. I don't get like double stuff necessarily. I don't get some of these different system types, but I can respect them. And like that's it. Yeah. Oh yeah, we know it's every system. Like, yeah, I get what you were going for. Ring System says they've been doing grassroots activism longer than they've been doing YouTube. Yep. I remember I saw a post from someone who had to deal with the singlet saying that systems with more than 5 to 7 system mates means they were faking. Oh, if they only knew how many systems have way more. That post was today. Oh, wow. That's some shit. Like, even if you're like only into the big systems on YouTube, I think all of them have more than 7. I think Multiplicity and Me only has like 5. I could be wrong. I don't watch their channel, not for any like negative reason. I just don't watch it. I don't have time. We got our own shit to do. Yeah, I don't know. We're like, our current estimation is around 20. We have 16 that we know of. And actually 16 is the average, I think, now. It used to be a lower, but I think that is because I think it's because therapists were less willing to acknowledge bigger systems, you know? It's like these two are similar, let's just crush them together, right? So, I don't know. That's my thoughts. Do you have any other questions? We're going to wrap up now. So, like, 5-10 minutes we're going to be ending. Thank you for listening to my 40-minute rant on this, by the way. Where I say after party. After party's on Twitter. @WeAreAlexandra. Not to mention subsystems. I'm pretty sure there are live subsystems that aren't counted in therapy, yeah. Self-care tips for systems. Try to have some time out. Try and make sure that everyone in the system gets to have the opportunity to have time out that isn't work. You know, everyone should get to have fun. Chris says, how can I be an activist? Ring system already got there. Cat, what are you doing? Stop being bad. Anyway, Ring System says reach out to disability organizations in your area. And also that simply being out as plural or multiple is so powerful and so changing. Yes. There is power in visibility, but you need to do something with it after. What can I do with a multiple D&D community? Being out there, going into just general disability activism groups, also good. Let everyone have their own things outside, on the outside if they front, yeah. We mostly just try and be out and open about it and actually tell people about our plural stuff, yeah. I can't imagine being out, yeah, it's fair. It's not for everyone. Not everyone can. A good start is doing readings. Read about the anti-psychiatry movement and Mad Pride. That's our activism history. Yes. It's important to look at our history outside of just multiplicity as well. Like, we are disabled. We are, like, for lack of a better term, we are mentally ill. And we need to treat our activism as disability activism. Connect with disability justice movements, read Mia Mingus's blog, Sins Invalid, etc. I tried to come out and the guy thought I was coming out about schizophrenia. Unfortunately, that's common. And I do think that's where visibility stuff is very very helpful in knowing that DID is a thing and this is what it looks like and it's not schizophrenia. And that's very, very helpful. And having things like a big ass Anthony Padilla interview is amazing, and it raises awareness and lets people know, hey, this is a thing and these are real people, and these are people who are just like you, just they have this thing. But also, we need I don't know. What else can I say? I'm just treading over old shit. I feel uncomfortable saying that I have a disability because we are pretty functional. Fair. Mad Pride is the reason we aren't institutionalized right now. It's so important and no one knows about it, and I'm continually screaming. Yeah. Hey, Ring System, can you like link some stuff about Mad Pride, and we can like tweet about it after this? Like once we get set up, we're gonna make Matt's dinner and stuff, because I think they're getting home from work about now. If they haven't left already. Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, let's get a tweet thread going. We want to have the big tweet this time. So yeah, that's it. So thank you so much for joining us, guys. This was really fun. I know this is probably a different stream than you might be used to from the last couple of times, but sometimes it's nice to have it change up a little. You know, we each got our own style. I'm glad that people enjoyed it. We actually kept a pretty consistent 30 viewers the whole time, so Brandon Sandra can say. I'm teasing her. So yeah, thanks so much, guys. I hope you all have a great day, and I hope you stay safe and you stay as sane as you can. Take care of yourselves, and yeah, be well. Bye. Now I'm going to stare at the camera awkwardly for the 5 seconds it takes to actually close the stream.